All right, it seems like we're live. Hello, guys. So I'm back again with another trade recap for the entire week. Today we'll go through the entire data and see what happened the past week, starting from Monday. Okay, before we get into it, I have a short disclaimer. This stream is for educational purposes only and not financial advice in any way. Trading is very risky, so please trade at your own risk and do not take advice from others in any way. Also, do not give capital to anyone else to trade. If anyone says that they will trade for you, I recommend against that. It's most likely a scam, even if that person is your family member, because trading is very difficult. And if you can't handle losing the money that you're giving to someone, do not give it. It's very risky. And believe me, seasoned traders take a long time. Okay. Trading is very difficult. It takes time to learn. It takes a certain characteristic to learn. It's not like any other profession and where you just go and spend time and you'll automatically be a trader. You have to like go through certain periods. So I will not bore you with the psychology stuff first. Let's first go to the data and then we can maybe uh, run the run back to the psychology. Okay, let me first see if my volume is clear. You can hear me. See that first. Wait, I actually don't. Volume clear is my volume up. I hope it is. I just don't have any way to check it. Okay, so let's start by Monday. Okay, okay, let's go back to the start of the session, which is about here. Yeah, you don't really need the premium of trading to start trading. You actually don't need it. Okay, so as you can see, I trade indices, specifically US 100 or NASDAQ. As you can see, the Asian session started, Asian kill zone started about around here, okay, and price kept going up, made this high, then it started to move in the other direction, but it didn't really do much. It's sort of just like made this high and then started consolidating. As you can see uh, here, the London session started, the London kill zone started, and price did not go for the London low. The Asian low was already cleared before the London kill zone started, so I didn't really. Let me confirm that actually. Yes, it was cleared before the London kill zone started. So what happened in the London kill zone? Price went down into the newly created New York opening gap. As you can see, as soon as it tapped into that, just sort of fizzled around and didn't really do much. But in the last hour of the London kill zone, went down, made a low, then went back up, made a high, did not proceed to go any higher. But as soon as the London kill zone was over, price came down to take out the London kill zone, and then it just sort of consolidated till like 9:30, honestly, till the equity open. Even 8:30 open didn't do much. Went on to create this high, which cleared these both highs, but still left that intact. So that was also a level of liquidity. That high was liquidity. That all of these highs were liquidity, and that was liquidity. As you can see, this high got taken right. Like you can see, they hope you can see that. Got manipulated here. I should have marked that. It's my fault. Okay, what happened as soon as the equity market opened? No news was on this day, and this highlighted area is just a consolidation. Which I just wanted to show it as we can easily see that its price didn't really do much. there was liquidity above this and below this range, you'll see the price will return to that. I uploaded a short about all of these setups and a reel on my Instagram page. So I've already highlighted everything. And let's go through it. As you can see, as soon as the equity market opened, price went up, took out all of this buy side and all of this old highs, left that for later. But then it went lower and then finally it went lower once again. As you can see, this was the market structure shift. And once price came back into this FEG, you could have shorted here and you could have targeted, well, you could have targeted this low, this low, this low, this low. These are the equal lows, so these are the perfect level to target. But it depends on your RR. I really am fine with like 400 ticks for now. 400 ticks is perfect for me. As I explained in the last slide, that if you just take more contracts, then if you want a higher return and you have a bigger account, you can just take higher contracts. So you don't really need to be targeting like 500, 600, 1,000 ticks. You don't need that. Why expose yourself to that much? And also, like, do you have the discipline to hold the trade for that long? Suppose it moves 500 ticks. Suppose you have a 1,000 tick PP. Price moves 500 ticks, but then it starts to consolidate, like you can see here. Like suppose I had a 1,000 tick PP, and there was liquidity levels below, but why would you do that? Like, you don't need that. Why stress yourself? Like you can see, if I entered on this, candle because this is the candle that tapped into the FG. From here till this, that is 4 minutes. That's 4 minutes. Suppose you have 10 contracts. You just imagine on entry. You can imagine it. So you don't need that much. Like that's $400. $400 in 4 minutes for 400 ticks. So why? You don't need it. You don't need any more. It's totally fine. And that 10 contracts, when I say 10 contracts, 10 contracts you can is 10 contracts is literally not that much. Like suppose you have a 50K account, okay, and you're funded on it, and even if you're not funded, even if you're like still doing the challenge, 10 contracts is not high risk. It's not high risk. It's totally fine. Okay. Now I actually did this, take this trade. My point in this live stream will not be to show you what trades I took. I'm already showing that on my Instagram. My point is to go through the PA and target and look through the time frame, look through the session that I usually trade, and see what setups did form on that time. And I took this, I stopped watching after this because I was done. I didn't need to watch after this. Why tempt myself to go for more setups? I didn't need to. What if I did and it hit myself? And then I'd be just like emotional, like why I made my share, why did I go back? Ooh. Then I would get emotional, then I would enter more trades. And so why do that? You don't need to. Okay, as you can see, price manipulated this low, and as I forgot to outline this, you can see that this was a level that was untaken, all these were taken, and this also was untaken. The price came back and took out this high, and while it was going up for this, price gave you a proper sign. SSL run, displacement upwards, market structure shift, return back into an IFPG or a CISD or this entire FEG. But the thing is, I would not have entered into this FEG because it would not have given me enough RR, enough ticks actually. I think it was less than 400 when I checked it out. Yeah. So mine is 400, and I prefer that my target gets taken before the level gets taken. Like you can see, even in this one, I am not keeping my target here. I want to be out of the trade before price takes it out. Because what if I like place it here and price just makes a quick run above here, but doesn't suit to go here and then return? Why? Like I don't need to. I'm fine. So after that, it cleared this BSL level, this BSL level, and then it reversed. First, let's go through this. If you were having a hard time finding a setup on Monday, then there were probably two things wrong there. You were looking for a way higher R, exactly, or you still need more experience with the markets. And that is not me being condescending or anything. Believe me, it is true. Like I've been doing it. What? It's been 3 years now. Yeah, it's probably more than 3 years now. So I couldn't see this until very recently, to be very honest. Yeah, I couldn't. And it's not that they weren't present, it's just that my eyes weren't trained to. It takes time. You have to be consistent. My cousin was also into this trading thing. He was also doing it with me. We actually both started together. Actually, he got me to start trading. He sometimes misses a session because of personal responsibilities and stuff and family and all. And I tell him, like, man, do whatever. Even if you don't trade, like, even if you don't want to trade, even if you have other concerns or all, just try to sit in front of the charts. Backtesting will help you a lot. But believe me, for me personally, live testing has been way better. Like, suppose you don't even take a trade. Suppose you didn't take this trade. You just said and wrote down on the chart that price will, when price returns to this FEG, when it returns to this FEG, it will go down and take those lows. And you didn't even enter it, and it did that. That's data. Nothing is more important than collecting data with your own eyes. It's not about writing it down. If you can write it down, that's actually perfect. Like you can come back to it, review it, especially if you have chart screenshots and you are journaling along with that. That will help you a lot as you can come back to it and all. But I'm saying that's data in real time. Like you're seeing it, and it develops confidence. Like you then gain confidence. Then once, like I did not enter on this downslope scan. Why? I entered in this candle. Why did I do that? Because I had confidence in my setup. I was confident that once price comes to this FEG, it will go down. And I'm not saying, oh no, the price will definitely go. No, I'm not saying. I'm saying this is what happens usually in my time frame. This is the setup I trade. So when price does come back to it, I will sell. Now after that, I don't care. Price can go up, but my SL, I have a SL in place. It's uh, it's according to my risk parameters, so it's totally fine. But I will not be FOMOing in it. Okay, I will not be saying, oh, I'll wait for a down close candle like this forms and then I'll say now I'll sell. No, yeah, if you're an advanced enough trader, you can do that. But maybe I'm not there yet. Maybe I don't need to because this is enough. Like this is also an FPG, IFPG. You could also have entered here, but you don't need to. Like this is enough. This is totally fine. I hope anyone who watches this, or even me, when I'm in a much better place, then I'm doing way better in trading. Hopefully, in some time, I can come back to these videos and see, maybe learn from it, maybe call myself a fool, maybe call myself an idiot because maybe something I learned something different and I realized something different. And that too I would have done because I'll be watching the price action. So I suggest sit in front of the charts and view the price action. Build confidence in your own set. Okay, as you can see, price did this, took the BSL and then displaced lower. And then you can see that market structure shift. It closed below this. This is enough. And especially it closed below this FEG. So this was an IFEG. Like even if you had trust in this and this form with it, that's just a way better sign. So you enter here within this IFEG or this FEG, and then you again target 400 ticks. And the funny thing is, again, this is the equity low, the low that price made between 9:30 and 10. And price gives me 400 ticks before even that. Or even if this wasn't present, there is a Friday low right below. That is the previous day low. So as you can see. All of these are setups. Now, I'll put another disclaimer in that I don't think you should try to go for all three of these. Pick one. Like even if you had taken any one of these, like this or this, you would have been fine. Setups were there, so you weren't looking hard. Okay, so the after my session is over, like my time is 9:30 to 10, 11:10. 11:10 the 11 a.m. macro ends. So after that, I don't really care about entering any positions, or I don't even care about where the price is going, because after that price just is just really down. Like it's not that predictable. As you can see, like it's just fiddled around, and after the entire lunch hour, that's so I wouldn't consider myself in this. That is not my model. So I'm not the professional in this. So I cannot advise you about this. If you are a PM session trader, or if you can only make time in the PM session to trade, then I cannot advise you in the best of ways, because I specialize in the AM session of New York. So if anyone has any questions about that, that I can answer. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go on to Tuesday now. This is where the London Asian section, Asian kill zone started. And after that, price just continued to move lower, 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 lower. Didn't actually go down to the Monday low until much later, which we'll get back to. Asian high taken after London is closed. So even after the London kill zone was closed, okay, only then price came back to. I'm actually a bit under the weather. I'm having a short, so apologies. Okay. So after the London kill zone was over, price came back, tagged the Asian high, but ever so slightly. Like it wasn't a big tag. It was just very small, but enough. And after that, price reversed, although it was very short, it was very slow. It continued to move down, 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 down. This is again a range I marked out because high is above this, low is below this, liquidity below this, liquidity below these highs. But as you can see, after the 8:30 was this. One last step of this high, and then price reversed. And this was a market structure shift on a higher time frame. I think it was the 15 minutes. Let me just check. Okay, let me check Tuesday. Yeah, this is the long Tuesday. Yeah, this is the right Tuesday. Yeah, this was this was it? Yeah, yeah. It is highs, reversed market structure shift. You can see budget candidate for FPG, CE of these FPGs. This will be good. So we can go and take a look at it on the because this bicycle liquidity went down, went down again. Okay, now thing is, why did I read this? I actually can't remember. I think yeah, I did. I remember. Okay. Yeah, because this is not my time, so I do not trade in this time. I trade after 9:30. So as soon as you can see, even in 9:30, if I split this minor buy side, tap into this 5-minute FPG, it's even the right one. Like, okay. Okay, yeah, I was wrong. This was not it. This was it. This was the 5-minute FPG. The price split this high. Tap into this 5-minute FPG. This one actually, the even higher one. Yeah, that's the product. This was the actual IFPG. You can see with the eye. So I stepped into this, and as you can see, it was a door. The thing is, this was not supposed to be my trade entry because there was no news. But I don't trade the first candle, because let price do its thing. Because equity market, as soon as equity market opens, a lot of big players, a lot of institutional players have already placed their orders, which are getting triggered at that time. So I do not suggest that. If you are learning, if you are still early in the game, I do not suggest trying to trade as soon as that market open. Like wait 5 minutes, wait 15. 15 minutes is perfect. If you can wait 15 minutes, that's perfect. Even better would be wait till 10 a.m. If you're very new to ICT concepts, especially, I suggest wait till 10 a.m. Let price do its thing and mark the highs and lows price makes in that 9:30 to 10 a.m. session, and then see the magic happen. So after this, it tapped this, and as soon as the 9:30 candle opened, tap this, headed straight lower, took all this sell side. There was more sell side below, I think. Yeah, something. You can check over here. Check. You can check. My apologies. My God, where are we? Okay, so yeah, this is the Tuesday. This was the previous Tuesday's look. Let me just confirm. This was the previous Tuesday. Okay, and what happened then? As you can see, as you can see, you can see, right as the market opened, I put that out. I don't know why I hadn't marked it out here. Apologies. But let's go through it, okay? So price took those out, and at this point, I was already bullish for the day. I was expecting a run above the buy side levels, which there were a lot of. Okay, there were a lot of other buy side levels which I have removed currently. There was a lot of buy side liquidity above. Like, for instance, you can just see this one, and even this one, like the 9:30 open, very important buy side level. There was a lot of liquidity above this too. So I expected price to head up, so I did take this trade. You can actually, but not by the IFVG, I took it by the SVG. This one, this gap. As soon as price came here, I entered and I targeted 400 ticks and gave that to me. And surprisingly, it triggered my TP and instantly reversed. And if I had held on longer, it would have been so funny. Like the thing that I'm telling you guys that 400 ticks is enough. If I had held a bit longer, even for 500 ticks, I would not have gotten filled. So I'm grateful. But you can see that price came back. This was taken. This you can say this was the candle. Okay. So I actually stopped looking after this to be very honest. But this was also a setup, although very risky one. And I'm not totally behind this step. It would have been better if you had like gotten your SL hit or where it would have been better to like not take this one. But still, it was a setup with an IFPG. With this, you can also just carry it around, but this was the better one. This is an IFVG that you could have entered on. I do not suggest entering here. It would have been too short, and as you can see, price didn't even match this high, so you would not have gotten filled. So only by the IFVG you could have gotten your 400 ticks, and if you had targeted 400 ticks. So after that, price again made one last move above these equal highs, and then returned lower. But this just wasn't the cleanest of price actions. But as soon as it goes below this candle's wick, like this was an IFVG, so anytime price went back into this IFVG, you could have entered, or you could have like waited for this very small gap over here, very small 100 IFVG. You could have entered from here, and you could have targeted these equal lows. Okay, and as soon as you could have targeted, you could have gotten the 400 ticks very easily. But honestly, I will admit this just wasn't the clearest bisection. Tuesday wasn't the best, but I got full here, so I didn't really care after that. I closed the charts. I had really things to do, so I went about my day. Let's just go to this. This, I will admit, was a tricky day as I expected a reversal that would take price back all the way up, but instead price continued to move lower for the session. Exactly. But to say that there were no tradable moves on this day would be a exactly. Just for text people is more than as I've said, it is more than as you can see, price continued to move lower and lower, and you can also see it on the high time frame. The price not only took the Tuesday low, it also went on to take the old Friday low and tap into this daily bullish FOG. Okay, and only then it stopped. So price continued moving a lot. So with this intent have been section, we can give it okay, along, move along. This is the okay, and exposure together. These are equal highs. Yeah, exactly. This was the high of the Asian KZ. I have it marked now, as you can see over there. And after making this high, price short squared down, move lower, 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 lower. After forming these equal lows, it kind of bounced back like this for the short retracement. And after taking the top buy side, went back down. So still the Asian closing went lower. This was the lowest low made in Asian session. That it had a very strong deep retracement in this range. And after that, we didn't do much, but where did the okay? So it the Asian low was taken before the London kill zone started. London kill zone started about here. Yeah, price first went in for a deep retracement and clearance of these lows. Okay, price cleared some short-term buy side. So if there were very good like personal traders who seen this, they took advantage of this and probably entered after I think this time. They entered here and targeted these highs. Okay. So the thing is, after that, price went up Okay, apologies. I had things to do. I stepped out. My apologies. Okay, to hell with that. I'm not sorry. I had things to do. I will be very real. I'll try to be as real throughout this as I can. I don't want to be one of those fakers, sweet talkers. But that's just not me. Why be a fake guy? If anyone starts following me or anything, I don't really want to be a fake guy. Okay. So in the London kill zone, this is the low of the London kill zone. As I said, it took out this low, went up here. This wasn't the best, but as soon as this kind of post, there people could have entered, like when price went back into this IFVG. A lot of professional traders do this. I don't do this, but people who actually trade the London session, they do this, and it's totally fine. It, it's totally fine. So they probably would have entered here, but as you can see, price continued going up and up and up and up. And in the London kill zone, price took out the Asian high, as I said here. After that, as soon, like you can see, that's how precise ICT's concepts are. You can see, as soon as this liquidity level was cleared, price shot straight down, and even it gave this entry, although it was very shit. This was proper like market structure shift. If anyone had to like be trading Len session for their own reasons, they could have entered into this FVG because price did not go up till this FVG, and you don't need it. Like, this was enough. You could have targeted this low, and it would have delivered in the London kills easily. And let's see how much that is. I don't know if it's enough actually. This is not enough, but that's the thing. It's the London session, so price is probably not going to give you a lot. So that's why I don't trade it. It's just not as reliable as NY. That's the main section. But as you can see, it ran this low. These were actually equal lows here. Price ran those and then immediately shot back up and then continued on its way back up after and then this is where the learning kill zone ended. This is where the learning kill zone ended. And after that, price still continued to go back up. But after that, it made these equal lows by a strong depth, clearing these lows, but still met with these equal lows. It went this high, cleared these equal highs, these not equal highs actually. These highs, liquidity above this. Why I'm doing this? I don't even trade this. But as you can see, eventually price did reverse, and I don't. I also have mark. It's probably due to the refugees and the clearance of these highs. As you can see, it again went lower and just pulled around. So these equal highs, and this is where the 8:30 a.m. NY session opened. Yeah, remember FOMC. This was the day that FOMC was supposed to be released. So honestly, I sat this one out. I did not take a trade, even though they were set up as we will see. So what did price do? Made these equal highs, went back up, came back down, went into these equal this FVG. This is a proper market that we shot, so you could have actually shorted it. Was not the best of this FVG actually, whether or not was below this, will not later. Okay. So this was a minor BSL level that price cleared here, and this was the 9:30 a.m. candle. As soon as this opened, price shot down, and that's exactly why. Even though the news was way later in the day, the 9:30 open triggered this, and that is exactly why I say do not like stop. You don't need to open any positions at the 9:30. You don't need that. Okay, as you can see, price went straight down, cleared these lows, these lows, these lows, and then before it could go for the major levels of the day, it stopped. It gave you entries. This was an FPG, but honestly, this was the way better FPG. This is the first provider FPG of the equity market open. So this was an entry, although way riskier entry. So if you weren't really interested in it, you could have entered after this displacement load. Now the funny thing is, price took out the London load in this displacement. So wait, we'll see. There was more liquidity lower. So if you were bearish on the day, you could have still entered here. And honestly, you did not even need this like 400 ticks. You can see where price forward did from this. And this SL is actually overextended. You don't need to do that. You can just put it above this order block, above this high. So this is very bad RR, but you don't really need to care about RR. You just need to get your ticks and get out. So what did price do then? It continued to move lower, 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 lower. Did not clear the old Wednesday low, and I think we came back to it later on. Let's see. So this was the Wednesday day over, okay, right here. After that, what happened? What happened on Thursday? I think Thursday was beautiful. Let's see. These will equal lows. The run below this low wasn't sufficient, so I'll consider this a major pressure level, especially because this is also the lows made in the Asian session. This is the lowest low of the Asian session, and this is the high of the Asian session. Asian kill zone was pretty good. It provided a strong level of liquidity, even though price did not clear this high, and price I think came back to it later on. So in the London KZ, price took out the Asian high, although not that well. Like it just cleared it, just wasn't that beautiful. It just tapped above it, then immediately started consolidating and made a move lower, which just wasn't. One thing is, yeah, this is the last candle of the kill zone. Price made this low. Okay, not anything beautiful, not anything worth watching. I did clear this high, but failed to close above, indicating bearishness in price, and it continued move lower until it took out the Asian low. Not until actually, till it then again continued to move lower, 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 and this is where the 9:30 session opened. And I remember, yeah, I this was going crazy, and there were setups like you could have found something there. But the thing is, why? Why risk it? Uh, and no, actually, you couldn't. Yeah, this was a setup. I actually forgot to outline it. But the thing is, I wasn't bearish, so this wasn't a setup unless you were just targeting this. Because if you're just targeting this, then you can see that I can see that this was no, this was PSL taken price then reversed. This was displacement lower, or actually no, this was not a good setup. Take my words back. There was no proper market sector shift, even though there were FAGs and IFGs created. Still, I'm not getting this, so I will not say that this is good. So I actually waited throughout all this. Now the funny thing is, I actually did not take this entry because I guess I got scared. I did know like price was going here, and I remember I think there was another level above here somewhere too. Maybe not. Maybe it was just here somewhere. I know price was heading here. Could have entered. It could have gotten me my 400 ticks, but I didn't. Actually, I ended up then entering in this. No, I actually ended up entering in this, and I thought maybe it would continue going up. And it went down, and instantly, like in two candles, it hit my SL. You can see it on my Instagram. And it's fine, it's part of the journey. So the thing is, if you could have waited, this was the setup. This was the FAG the price created. Perfect FPG. I actually entered here, so I got my 400 ticks around here somewhere. But as you can see, it did not even tap over. So it was still valid. It was still unexplored, untapped. So when price came back into this, and the funny thing is, it did that in the 11 a.m. macro, which is from 10:50 to 11:10. So you had time. If you can find an entry, a proper entry, and there is liquidity, so you can. You can do this. Like you can take the setup. Now, like even if you like held on till these lows, you can see like you could have entered here. Price never even came back to this high. Like it did, of course, come back here, but it continued to move lower, 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 and took out the equity low way later, like at the end of the lunch hour. But it did. So the thing is, the day was beautiful. There were setups this day, and you could have taken. This was good. Now comes the harshest day of them all. Not because it was technically harsh, but because I didn't behave the best. Okay, what happened? This was the Asian kill zone's high. As soon as the Asian kill zone started, price went lower, went slow, and then consolidate. So this was like you can see, this was like a perfect range. It's already highlighted by the lows of the Asian section. Perfect. Even this candle before the London KZ opened did not play. And as soon as the London KZ opened, like right here somewhere, like short down, took it out, like way, way deeper because of Thursday low, previous day's low, and then reversed back. Now on the higher time frame, this was the perfect higher time frame. According to the higher time frame, this was a perfect. Like everything I predicted, it happened exactly. I even presented my plan on my IG before the market opened, and it went exactly like that. But on the lower time frame, I just didn't see it as you. I will explain it. The price cleared this, went back up. This was on higher time frame. SSL taken, displacement upward, market structure shift, and then what did price do? As it was the London session, price went up, but after the London session ended, price price just started consolidating. Like this is just consolidation. Lows below these, this, and this was a very good 1 hour bullish FEG. And you can see this was also 1 hour cyst. I can show you. I can actually show you this. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like you can see, cleared the first day low, but it tapped into this old daily bullish Fuji. I think this is an I Fuji. Yeah, this is an I Fuji. It tapped into this and then shot up. What did it do? This was market structure shift, right? BSL. This was SSL and failure to close below. So very bullish. This was the 1 hour FPG that then price came back to 1 hour FPG. The price then came back to at exactly the 9:30 open, and rest is history, as we would see. Liquidity, it took out liquidity below this and this low even, and shot up to the 1 minute time. So as you can see, this was the 9:30 10. Even though Fed chair's speech was at 10 a.m., I still shot straight down. Now this is very beautiful. This is very beautiful. This is the 1 hour cyst. I can show you this. This is the 1 hour cyst. This the last two rounds for scans, consecutive rounds scans before the move up. This is the 1 hour cyst. And as you can see, price failed to even close below this. Tapped into this, tapped into the G. This was all price movement. Now the funny thing is, I saw this and I said, okay, I'll try to get a setup in before the Fed chair speech starts. Now, as soon as this candle closed, this candle, I said, okay, let me see a move back into this 1 minute IFVG, and I will long from it. I kept waiting, and it didn't come. Kept waiting, didn't come, and it went back. I said, okay, if the next one comes here, I will still long from it. Now, the funny thing is, actually, it didn't. And now what did I do? And as this happened, and now the 10 a.m. was approaching, I said, okay, there was a 5 minute FEG in this place. I completely forgot about this. That's my fault. And there was a 500 FEG in this place, which was funnily enough too much risk for my account. So I entered here. This was a 500 FEG on the same date, and I targeted like what 300 ticks, which is my usual target. No, SL, and I targeted 400 ticks. Okay, which would have been easily executed. But the funny thing is that I forgot that that was the first presented FEG, so it was still reliable. I could have entered here easily, but I forgot about this FEG. You can see here. So my SL got triggered here. I failed to enter here, and I failed to enter because I did not trust it as I didn't see this. And secondly, this was the 10 a.m. candle, but I would have entered it. I would have entered on this candle if I had remembered this and kept my SL to 300 ticks right here. And even if like the speech started, I'm not saying I would cash in this entire move because it's just not in my rules. I wouldn't do that. I hope I wouldn't. I will try my best to not do that. Why promote behavior that could hurt me in the long run? I'm not trying to be that sort of trader. I'm trying to be respectful and profitable trader. I have to respect my rules. That's the only way to guarantee profitability. So I could have entered here. I could have exited here. What happened? Now this started. Now I'm not a dumbass. Like this started. First of all, this was very quick. Secondly, I do not enter these sort of. I wait. I wait. I waited this, and then this was a proper setup which I didn't take. Okay, this is a proper setup I should have taken. Short short setup that could have been taken when price was heading for the CE of the daily bearish FEG. Exactly, this is the CE of the daily bearish FEG. Now I'll show this to you on the HTM. Just wait a second. This is beautiful. So I could have actually taken this. I didn't. And secondly, now stupid me, this was perfect. I took this. Like I can show you right now. I took this. But my dumbass, I targeted the low below. First I targeted this, but then I moved it here, and I didn't. I didn't close here when it moved 400 ticks in my favor. I said no. You get me here, this and that. But it is what it is, you know. I actually got my didn't actually got my select because I brought myself very close. So this was like nothing. As soon as went to it got triggered, I'm totally fine. It's totally fine. It is better than getting it over here. But I should have actually exited here according to my rules. But I broke my rules, so I suffered. Okay, what happened next? Price kept going up. But as you can see, price achieved its target, which was, in my view, this daily bearish FG's CE, which is the consequent encroachment of the gap of the FG. This was the consequent encroachment, the midpoint of the FG. And now I'll show this to you on the day. I realized that this was the setup. This was what price was trying to achieve. I do charts for living right now. As you can see, price failed to close above here, which makes me certain that we are headed lower. My eyes, we are headed lower. No, I'll not say that because I haven't actually given the higher time frame much thought right now, so I will not look at such assumptions. But this was very good sign to see that price wants to head lower now. Uh, Okay, let's see let's see on Monday. Let's see starting tomorrow what happens. Okay, then this was actually Friday, so the day ended here. Hold on for 2 minutes. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Had some things to take care of, some urgent things. Okay, so the trade recap is over. What I want to say is that I want to answer some of my own questions and some things that I want to clarify for myself maybe. Now, the first thing is why am I actually doing this? Why am I live streaming? Why am I trying to take this online? Because clearly I'm still in the early stages of my trading career. I'm still learning. I want to make this character. I'm still experiencing. I'm by no means a profitable trader right now, but with time, hopefully, we'll get there. Alhamdulillah, inshallah. Now the thing is, why am I doing this? I want to create a record. I want to create a record of my own progress because this is the digital age. Rather than just writing general entries and rather than just having recorded videos or just like writing a page, I think this should be better because I've realized that I can. I do, first of all, this is in front of the internet. This is going to help a lot of other traders, hopefully, sometime. And secondly, I can come back to these videos in however many years later and see where I was in a certain period of time. And I really hope that it does help other traders too, because trading is a very different sort of career. It's not like a lot of the career. It's just not like you can sit with doctors. I actually have a job in a setup in a medical setup. I will not specify. And I've sat across doctors. I've sat across people in multiple different areas of life. I've actually sat across financial analysts, even I've sat across investment bankers, even big time doctors, surgeons, big businessmen. And those professions, yeah, they have their own thing. I'm not saying which is bigger, better, or this and that, because that's not how life works. Every profession is has their own quirks. Every profession is big in their own way. But trading is very different because it's not just about learning the charts. It's just not. You cannot be a degenerate. You cannot be like not taking care of all your other aspects of life and be a good trader. Secondly, you cannot be inconsistent. In trading, you cannot be inconsistent. Like you cannot just sit in front of charts one day and then leave the charts for a week or two and just say, okay, now I'm feeling like it, I'll return back. No, you need to be present. You need to be here, especially if you're learning. Like if you're an experienced trader, and I'm not there yet. I cannot speak for them, but I think maybe they can. They can take breaks and all. But if you're learning right now, I do not suggest taking breaks. Do not halt your progress. Keep going. This is a tough journey. It's not easy by any means. No one will say it's easy. No experienced trader will say it's easy. But any career isn't easy. Like any career is difficult. You cannot say that this is easy. But trading is something like you cannot just go and study someplace and you will be a profitable trader. No, you need to work. You need to actually work. And by work, I don't mean just sitting in front of the charts all day. Actually, that's also counterproductive. You need to have other things going on for you. So you're not always trying to open a position. You need to have a certain time of day that you trade. And when that time of day is gone, you need to be doing other things. Like the other things I'm doing is I'm studying, and hopefully my university will open soon. So that I will be back to studying. Secondly, I have a job. Thirdly, I'm editing videos nowadays. I'm like posting on my IG whatever updates I am doing in my trading. So you need to be doing other things. Okay. Now, what I mean by being consistent, because those two things contradict, what I mean is that, like, suppose you have a time of day that you trade. I suggest when that time of day comes, you sit in front of the charts. You open the charts and you watch. You watch what price does. You see what price does. You point out levels, you mark out levels. Honestly, the only levels you need at the start is mark out just some of these levels. Mark out the previous daily high and low, previous weekly high and low, previous sessions high and low, the kill zone I mean. Mark out those highs and lows, and what else? Yeah, the 4 hour highs and lows, and even the previous hourly highs and lows. Now, if you are determining your bias, and not if you don't really need to concern yourself with the daily bias, unless like you are a bit, unless you're trying to be a swing trader. So yeah, you just now my model is if I'm bullish, I'll wait for sell side to be done. I will watch if price reverses the displacement as a spot an FPG or an IFPG, enter from here and target for the ticks. It sounds simple, and it is very simple to be honest. The other things are just honestly emotional, psychological, and with time, hopefully, with time, you will get over those things. Hopefully, I will too, because the psychological part of trading is very real and actually hardest to counter. But with time, And I suggest everyone, first of all, mm, there are the things that I will continue to talk about, and I have a lot of things to say. That's one of the actual reasons that I'm starting to stream and record and post because I have a lot to say. And I think just talking to yourself it will drive you crazy. So I'll try to put it out into the word. Maybe I'm wrong, and I can only learn that if I like share and then you know get in contact with people who are more experienced in this, then consult with them, talk with them, maybe their genuine perspective. Because if someone is providing information on one of your beliefs and it turns out that one of your belief wasn't true or well defined or in or well thought after, so if someone provides you information on that, you should change your belief because now you have facts that okay, this is not this way, this is that way. So that's true. So yeah, that's one of the reasons too. I hope I continue this journey and I'll try to be as truthful and honest as I can be. I'll do my best in that respect because I don't want to be I don't really want to like create a fake persona that I then have to carry for the sake of anyone who follows me or anything, because then I wouldn't even be happy. Then I wouldn't even be doing this for the reason that I'm doing this. With that said, thank you, and let's see where this leads.